that the 2004 BMW that we own, which has the same engine model number for the engine, is ULEZ compliant, but mine, and as well as mine, but for some reason I was charged. It was a very delicate time. My father had a stroke, so I drove to Moorfield Hospital in London. The previous time I drove to London before that was 2003, I would say. So I had no idea of any changes that took place in London. So I travelled into London. About a week later, I received a letter stating that my car, that I received a fine, sorry, for entering the congestion zone, as well as a ULEZ zone. I immediately paid the fine because obviously I was a bit worried. And a friend of mine who I spoke to later told me that my car was ULEZ compliant. I was completely shocked. How can my car be ULEZ compliant? I went on to the TfL website, popped in my registration number, and it said this vehicle is non-compliant. So he suggested go and try contact BMW and apply for something called a certificate of conformity. I applied for that certificate, and it came out that the 2004 BMW that we own, which has the same engine model number for the engine, is ULEZ compliant, but mine, and as well as mine, but for some reason I was charged by TfL.
Gosh, so quite understandably, and I'm sorry to hear about your dad, you're not worried about ULEZ compliance or anything like that. You just need to get your dad to hospital. But then you get the fine, and it just seems bizarre that it is on you to find out whether your car is compliant after the fine. So you presumably went back to TfL and said, well, I've got this certificate saying that my car is compliant.
Yes, I did, yes. And that was obviously, this is something, again, that TfL did not advise me to do. It was something a friend of mine suggested I go and try to obtain the information.
And so what did TfL say when you produced the evidence to say, well, it is compliant, so why did you fine me?
So the initial correspondence I received from TfL stated your vehicle is non-compliant. Once I sent them certificate of conformity, they confirmed that yes, my vehicle is compliant. However, there was one thing I did notice, and this is a key bit of information which I think everybody needs to know. The car I have, so I've got two cars which are identical, one from the year 2000, one from the year 2004. The year 2000 V5 logbook doesn't have any details of emission readings on it. No NOx levels, no hydrocarbon levels. But the 2004 logbook does. So I then assumed that TfL are going by what DVLA have on your V5 document.
Right. Okay. So that's the access they have. But I mean, did they gave you the money back on the fine?
No.
Thank you so much for watching. You get extra points for making it all the way to the end of the video.
And if you want to see more from me, Chloe and Callum, you can join us every Friday to Sunday on Times Radio from 6 a.m.